The Toyota Way. 14 Management Principles from the World's Greatest Manufacturer by Jeffrey Liker, President of Liker Lean Advisors. Principle 14. Learn your way to the future through bold strategy, some large leaps, and many small steps. The 4P model consists of number 1, philosophy, long-term systems thinking. Number 2, process, which is struggle to flow value to each customer. Number 3 is people, respect, challenge, and grow them. And finally, number 4 is problem solving, think scientifically to improve towards a desired future. In the center is scientific thinking, which touches all the 4 Ps. The Toyota Way problem-solving principles consist of observe deeply and learn iteratively, plan, do, check, act, align goals, and bold strategy, large leaps, and small steps. This video is going to focus on the 14th principle of the Toyota Way. Learn your way to the future through bold strategy, some large leaps, and many small steps. Every organization needs a strategy for their products and services that will bring in customers. Each company will need to develop its own strategy based on its own unique circumstances and work toward this vision with some large leaps and many small steps. A strategy consists of a vision, a plan, ideas about the product or service, the target market, the means of delivery, and the service levels. The strategy then needs to be put into action. We also need a strategy for our operations. What capabilities do we need to deliver on our business model? What customers want is a product and or service that connects with them, solves their problems, excites them, makes sense to them, and does something important for them that competitive products or services do not. Toyota's history of growth from startup to global powerhouse has been a challenging journey filled with turns and twists. Internally, Toyota developed the winning culture of the Toyota Way, continually improving in every nook and cranny of the company. Externally, Toyota has largely grown through incremental innovation that is keeping up with competitors in product technology combined with exceptional quality and reliability. There are a few exceptions like the Prius, which paved the way for hybrids worldwide. For Toyota, a well-thought-out strategy and excellent execution are not alternatives, but a necessary combination. Robert Quinn illuminated the world of strategy and how it relates to internal culture in the 1980s with his competing values model. It is a great framework for understanding the relationship between strategy and execution. Quinn began with 2 dimensions, control versus flexibility, and internal versus external. The concept of control is a characteristic of the mechanistic model, while flexibility is characteristic of the organic model. An external focus is on the environment, while an internal focus is on how a company runs its own operations. Quinn put these together into a 2x2 table and named each of the 4 cells. Externally, the company can focus on control, which he calls rational goals, or flexibility, which he calls open systems. Internally, the company can tend toward control, which he calls internal process focus, or flexibility, which is a human relations focus. So the obvious question is, which quadrant is best? And the answer is, it depends. First, best depends on the company's strategy and environment. Second, competition among values can be broken, leading to a paradox where an organization can be seemingly opposite things at once. In fact, some of the most successful organizations are strong in multiple areas. Think of a spider diagram, giving you a profile where you can be weak in all areas or strong in all areas or any other combination. Here is a spider diagram to roughly plot the profile of Toyota, Western auto companies, and Tesla. Historically, the Western auto industry has been preoccupied with control to the exclusion of flexibility, internally and externally. The companies in this industry want rules, structure, people obeying orders, and the freedom to hire and fire people at will. And then the goal externally is to grow, make a profit, and satisfy shareholders. To Western auto companies, lean programs have been attractive not for continuous improvement, but as cost reduction tools within a coercive bureaucracy. The external strategy seems to be make money through high sales and low cost. However, there's a shift in Western auto companies toward more technological innovation in today's major shift to electrical autonomous vehicles, and they're now moving in the direction of open systems pretty aggressively. Toyota is different from these Western companies and has the widest range of any automaker. Internally, continuous improvement for Toyota combines high value-added internal processes that appear bureaucratic with strong human relations, which in fact gives them high levels of control plus high levels of flexibility, again a seeming paradox. The control of processes in Toyota is what Paul Adler calls enabling bureaucracy rather than coercive bureaucracy. Externally, Toyota is very good at planning and achieving rational goals, which has fueled 70 years of profitability, including a run of record profits for the industry. The company has had only 1 year of loss, and that was in the Great Recession. Toyota's strategy for the future is bold in many ways, but also pragmatic. Toyota has its share of ventures into the open systems quadrant with the paradigm-breaking Lexus, Prius, and Mirai, and even building its woven city of the future at the foot of Mount Fuji that will act as a living laboratory to experiment with advanced technologies. Long-term thinking for Toyota includes building a highly adaptive learning organization internally at all levels. And innovative thinking at Toyota applies to everyone, even the person attaching the windshield wipers. Not every company can act like a startup, but it is critical that the internal capabilities and external challenges are well aligned. The Open Systems Quadrant is the area Akio Toyota has been working hardest at to strengthen through a variety of technology partnerships and internal advanced research organizations. Speed and innovation are critical in this time of revolutionary change in the auto industry. On the other hand, Tesla is firmly ensconced in the Open Systems Quadrant, while doing just enough to build and distribute product in the other three quadrants. It is relatively unidimensional and weaker every place Toyota is strong. Fortunately, or more likely by plan, Tesla is strong in the one area that really matters for Elon Musk's strategy and style of leadership. He deserves credit in the human relations quadrant for hiring exceptional engineers who have done a great job of innovating. Elon Musk certainly thinks long-term and has a vision well beyond earning a paycheck. And the core technology and features of Tesla's battery electric vehicles that customers love and have fun driving have disrupted the industry in a way that all legacy automakers are racing to catch up. At the end of the chapter, I provide tips for strategy development and execution for other companies that are not Toyota. The first is develop your own strategy based on your products, services, markets, and unique situation. This is not a game of copying. Second, the competing values framework is a useful way to map your future strategy to strike an appropriate balance between external and internal, flexibility, and control. The question should not be which quadrant is best, but rather what capabilities does your organization need to be successful in the future, considering your risk threshold, the market you face, trends and technology in your field, the broader environment, and what you think will excite your customers. The strategic vision starts in the external environment portion of the competing values model. Then there's the internal portion. How developed do you need to be in execution? Is the delivery of your products and services a differentiator? Do you need flexible people continually improving toward excellence? Or is a moderate level of internal control enough for now? Third, do not fall into the trap of thinking that just because you have a well-articulated strategy with informative figures and charts, you're done. In fact, you've only started. The difference between developing the strategy and executing against it is like night and day. The vision is just that, a vision, based on our best guesses about the future. We will not really know what is going to happen until it happens. The execution should be done in bite-sized pieces, learning from each experiment. Mike Rother's model connects strategy to the step-by-step learning approach of the improvement kata. What is your long-term strategic vision for your product or service? What competencies and distinctive processes are needed to support delivery? For the shorter term, say 1 to 3 years, what are the concrete challenges you need to take on to move in the direction of that strategy? That then bounces you to the current condition. What are your current competencies, strengths, and weaknesses? Then identify not all, but the first of your short-term target conditions and experiment toward that, and so on. Akio Toyoda, current president of Toyota Motor Company, was asked about how Toyota is managing through the various crises that we face. He said, "The number one thing I've learned and that I am prioritizing for my learning is that I am not panicking. I am managing the company very efficiently and stably. In managing the company during these past 10 years, no years were peaceful. Every year, year on year, we have witnessed and experienced a large, drastic change on the scale of a 1 in 100-year event. So I think that the calmer I am, the calmer things are within the company."